Hey guys, let's make these really cute leggings boots. I know you guys have seen these all over Kim Kardashian, so I've been dying to make them. When I saw this $5 to $6 fabric at the thrift store, I know exactly what I wanted to make with them. So first what you're going to do is lay out your fabric, make sure there's no bumps, lumps, and wrinkles, and then you're going to put your very comfortable leggings on top because you're going to use that as a template. I like to use clothes that I already own as templates. That way I'm sure that my item will fit me. So you're going to lay your leggings directly on one side of the fabric because you're going to use the other side for the other side, if that makes sense. So you lay these out and you make sure that it is even with the waistband, and make sure you don't go all the way to the bottom because you don't want that seam to be at the bottom because you're going to be adding some fabric at the bottom. And this is me adjusting it. It's taking a minute because I just have to make sure my fabric is perfect, laid out flat, because you don't want any mistakes. So then I'm using a piece of chalk to outline the leggings, and this is the front part of the leggings. Make sure you add like a 1/2 inch of seam allowance because you're going to be needing that to sew. And you're just going to cut this all the way down to the bottom, cutting off that seam at the bottom of the skirt. Then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side of the fabric. As you see, I'm doing this 2 times because you need this for the front and the back. So make sure your fabric is big enough so that you can do both sides, because you don't want to just do one and then you don't have the back of your fabric. So you're just going to duplicate what you just did to the other side. Next, after that, you're just going to cut out those pattern pieces, and I'm using my electric scissors because it just runs through like butter. But of course you can use regular scissors or even a rotary cutter. Whatever you have on hand will work, but these scissors are like my favorite thing that I've gotten so far. I'm going to link these down in the description box so you can go ahead and pick you up a pair from my Amazon store. They are A1 because, again, they just go through fabric like butter. I use it for denim. I use it from everything. And I'm addicted to them. They have to be charged, so sometimes I forget to charge them. But when they are charged, they just do everything that I need them to do. So after you cut out those pieces, you're going to use that center fabric to go ahead and cut out your boot pattern. And I'm going to take my favorite boots, and I'm going to lay those out on top of the fabric like you do with the leggings, and you're just going to trace that around. I use a little pool noodle to kind of keep that part standing up because it's a little flimsy around the ankle, but we are not going to be using that part, so it doesn't matter. You can if you want them to be longer, but I end up not having enough fabric to be able to have that long part, and it worked out just fine. So you're just going to fold the fabric so that way you don't have to do this more than one time, and you're going to find the right way to put this on here. The key to reworking is using all the fabric and being very ergonomical. Is that a word? Basically being innovative, basically finding a way to make it work. Okay, and so you lay these boots on top of the fabric and you just trace it out. You do not have to trace the heel. You can leave that part flat, and then you're just going to cut around the fabric like you did with the leggings. After you cut them out, you are going to turn them with the right sides facing each other, basically inside out, and you're going to stitch around the outside. Make sure you do not stitch up the top hole or the place where a heel is going to go into it. The reason why this is so important is because you're going to actually stick a platform heel or a pump inside of this, and you want the heel to be able to come out of that area. There I show you, do not sew right there, so I put a pin just to mark it, just so I don't go past the part that I want to sew. You're going to sew around that front area, leaving the heel and the back and the top of that open. Use a zigzag stitch. I zigzagged it 2 times just to make sure they were secure, or you can use a serger. I was too lazy to sew up my serger, so I just used a zigzag stitch. You're going to lay out your legging pieces, and you're going to do the same thing by putting both sides, right sides together, and you're going to make sure that everything is aligned up perfectly, because you do not want any, mishaps or any folds or anything in the fabric. Then you're going to stitch on both sides. This is me just cleaning it up, making sure that they're even. And then you're going to use the same zigzag stitch, and you're going to sew down the sides of your leggings. This is what it looks like when you sew down the side. So not the entire side, just the curved crotch area. Then you're going to do a magic trick, and voila, the crotches are sewn. And then you're going to go ahead and add the bottom pieces, your boots, to your leggings. And watch how I do it. I'm just lining it up and making sure that it is all. I'm sorry that that's cut off, guys. I didn't realize that. But you're going to line it up where the center part of the boot is in the center of your legging. Most of the time when you do this, you may not want a seam down the front of the boot, but because this fabric wasn't long enough, I had to make extra boot covers. But if you want to do a longer boot, you would make sure the fabric is longer. So if you have fabric, you can actually make these connected already before sewing them together. But because again, this fabric wasn't that long, I just had to make additional boots that I'm going to add on right now. You're going to place the right sides together, pin it down, and you're going to do this for both legs. And once that is sewn down and the back is still open, then you're going to sew up the back all the way up the leggings, all the way around and back down to the other side. You're going to use that same zigzag stitch and do it twice, and you slide in a pump all the way down, and there you have it. Your leggings with the heels added. You can't even tell that it's 2 parts. It just looks like one seamless thing of leggings. I loved how these turned out. If you guys loved how these turned out, then hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will talk to you later.